Oh, these videos are going down. Look at this light. Ugh, whatever. What's going on, everybody? It's your favorite dating coach, Elliott Scott. And as you can see by the title below, we're going to talk about how to figure out if your guy is serious, if he's actually wanting something with you, or if he's playing the game and just trying to get the assets, okay? Now, if you haven't yet, please subscribe. Just click the red button below. I'll love you forever, along with the bell notification if you want to get my videos right away. And if you want to go over everything that I talk about in these videos, especially this one, into great detail, check out my course, Attraction Academy, which a link will be here or down below, okay? Very in detail, much more detail than I have in these videos, okay? More extensive, and they kind of work off each other. So here's the two problems I see constantly in my line of work. It's one of these two or both. It's either a woman does not know how to attract a guy the right way. She doesn't know how to attract a quality guy so he sees her long term. She just doesn't know what to do. She doesn't understand the psychology of man and the evolutionary psychology on how the whole dynamic works, okay? So even if you're a good-looking girl with big boobs and a nice face and youth on your side and things like that, you might have an easy time attracting men, but I have these type of women still come to me saying they can't keep the guy. And what they don't understand is, even though you might be a good-looking girl, that's subjective. And there's a lot of good-looking women out there, right? So if that's your value proposition, like, hey, I'm a good-looking girl, I'm youthful, look at me, I'm sexy. That's great and all, but there's a lot of women who can offer that to a guy. There's a lot of women who can offer it and probably put out faster, easier than you. So that alone is not a reason to commit. So that's number one. Number two, the other thing is, which is what this video is about, is even if you can attract a guy, right, you're attracting the wrong guy. You keep on attracting the guys who don't want the same thing as you. So how do you figure that out, okay? And again, I go into much more detail in my course, Attraction Academy, but I'm just going to kind of touch on some things here. So I believe there's this trifecta of things you kind of have to look for. And one of the first things I talk about is emotional availability and unavailability. And you figure this out by asking very common questions that you tend to not ask. Not him, just ask yourself or figure it out. Try to like get it out of him without deliberately saying, what are you looking for? Now you can, but there's better ways to, and I think there's more important questions than that to ask. So I think the things a lot of women have to look out for are, is he newly single? The distance. How many other women is he talking to? Is he actually looking for a relationship? Has he been cheated on? These are very important questions. If he just got out of a divorce or just got out of a relationship, or he hasn't been in a relationship in the last 3 years, 4 years, 5, 6 years, or if he's 45 and divorced 3 times, like, what makes you think you're the one who's going to come around and change that shit? You're not. You're not. You're not that fucking special. No offense. If I was talking to one of my boys, I'd say the same thing to them. I'm like, homie, I love you, but you're not that special, bro. You're just not that fucking special to change her mind like that. I hope I'm wrong, but that's the case. Okay? So that's the first part of the trifecta that you have to look at, is you have to ask these common questions to find out the logistics on if it's favorable and for you to continue what you're doing, and or if this guy's even actually looking for something. Okay, so then we're going to move on to step 2, which is whether he's looking for something or not. I mean, you can figure that out, and you should. I think it's going to be beneficial. But the next step is, why would he, even if he's looking for one or not, what benefit does he get out of committing to you? So even sometimes if a guy does like you and he is looking for something a little more serious, he might take his time if you give him the opportunity to do so. And the reason for that is not the man's fault. It's not your fault. It's just human nature. We go towards the path of least resistance, and we're all about advantages, okay? So if I can have my cake and eat it too and continue to talk to you, and again, you got to remember, he knows that you know everything. Everything's cool between us. If you and I are talking and things are cool between us, and the dynamics well and everything. We're getting along and we're hooking up and we're laughing and playful and we're investing in each other. That's great. He has no reason whatsoever to think you're going anywhere. Why would he? Things are going great. But what women don't understand is just because you do that does not mean he's off the market, does not mean he's not going to talk to other women. In fact, if things are going very well, I still think he's just as maybe not just as likely, but I still think there's a good chance that he's going to talk to other women. Why would he not? Why would he not? There's just no reason for him to. There is no reason for him not to talk to other women. Just because things are going between you two just means, okay, things are going great over here. Let me see what else is going on, because this is great. I don't have to worry about this. And of course, that doesn't mean you guys won't transition into a relationship. That doesn't mean he doesn't like you. That doesn't mean he doesn't want to have something with you. He can, and it could transition into something more. But until then, he's going to talk to other women. And what ends up happening is the longer that goes, it starts to look more beneficial to him to keep talking to you for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months while remaining single. This is why I tell women constantly, you need to give the guy 6 to 8 dates or 6 to 8 weeks of whatever you guys have. I always say, think of it as a gym membership or a Netflix membership. You give them the goods, you show them what it's like. And then after the month or weeks up, the month, in terms of memberships, you cut that shit off and you say, hey, if you want to keep on playing, you got to pay, bro. I mean, that's just what it is. And I tell women to do that. You really need to do that. But people don't emphasize, or I can't emphasize the importance of that. People just don't do it. So not only do you need to find the right guy, okay, by asking these questions, but when you do, you have to play that game correctly. Okay. And then thirdly, and I kind of said it just now, is you got to give them the ultimatum. At level 3, ladies, women always ask me, well, actually, let me back up a little bit. Women are constantly asking me, well, how do I find out if he's the right guy or not? You find that out stage 1. You find that out stage 1. The stuff I said in the beginning, you will know that stage 1. And then you will know, I can give you like the cliche shit. Well, how much is he investing? Is it consistent? Actually, I take that back. None of that shit even matters. Like how much he invests is pretty black and white. It's pretty self-explanatory. Like if he's investing in you over time, that's great. But that could still be a good or bad thing depending on the questions you ask in the beginning. If a guy is emotionally unavailable, he's probably love bombing you. If the guy has not had a relationship in 3 years, or he just got out of a relationship and he's love bombing you and he's doing all these great things that you want him to do, he's still probably not going to get in a relationship with you because he's not emotionally available. That's why I tell women to either get my course or to ask these kind of questions you have to play detective. You have to ask these questions every fucking day. I'm telling you, it's not even a joke. You have to ask those questions. And then once you do that, then you kind of see the dynamic of how you guys are and what's more advantageous for him. If it's more advantageous for him to continue to talk to you and be single, right, then he's going to do so. But if he sees you as a high value woman, he's like, oh my God, I really like her, I need to take her off the market, then you need to put a price, not a price, but you need to put a deadline on your availability. Okay, and after 8 weeks, you're off. Right? And he has to make that choice, which gets me to, again, the third point, which is you have to give him the ultimatum. You have to give him the ultimatum. If you don't, he's going to take advantage of you. And I know so many women who are like, well, I don't know if I built enough attraction up yet, or I'm afraid he just got out of a relationship. I just want to give it a little more time. Hey, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. The more time you give it, you think he's going to commit to you? No. Why in the fuck would he commit to you? If he knows how to buy time and you're giving him 2 more months, 3 more months. Oh, Ellie, let me just see him 4 or 5 more times. Let me really get it in there. He's going to take advantage of you. And then he's going to take you for granted. And you're hooking up and giving him all these benefits. And again, what you got to understand is, unless you're in love and it's all about marriage, like your honeymoon stage it's going to run out, okay? And then you're going to get into this maintenance stage. And it's not going to look as colorful as if he were to talk to another girl and have this honeymoon stage all over again. That's what you got to understand. Women don't understand that. So when you click on this video and you wonder, well, how do I tell if this guy's serious? Ask the right effing questions, okay? If he's emotionally unavailable or not, that's how you find it out. If he's newly single, you're not going to get a relationship. If the guy's divorced 3 times, you're not going to get the relationship. If the guy lives over an hour away and you're not seeing them that much, you're not going to get the relationship. If the guy's going big gaps without seeing you, you're not going to get. I mean, that's what women don't understand. Okay, so that's how you find it out pretty much. Then you just ask yourself, what are the pros and cons of the situation he's in, right? If it's more beneficial to commit, he'll commit. If it's more beneficial for him to stay single, especially based on his situation with the questions you asked, yeah, he's gonna commit or break off and do his own thing. So with that being said, ladies, I love you all. Take care and peace.